Alright, I'm getting ready to fly Spirit Airlines. I've made sure that my carry-on bag is small enough to be a personal item. I know it's going to be bad, so I'll bring my noise-canceling headphones. I think I'll need a little more, though. Maybe some sleeping pills. Oh, heck with it. Let's make this a good flight.
Spirit Airlines. No other airline in America leads to such hate. Much of it quite justified. But with legacy carriers such as United and American locked in an epic race to the bottom, how much worse than a normal airline could it be? Against my will, I recently flew Spirit from Chicago to Seattle and back. I did get to see the Centurion Lounge in Seattle, as well as the more generic Club Lounge, and I'll cover both at the end of this video. Spirit nickel and dimes you like most low-cost carriers, and as long as you know what you're getting yourself in for, you'll hopefully be fine. Carry-on or personal bag above a certain size? Fee. Check bag? Fee. Seat selection? Fee. Beverage on board? Fee. Print your boarding pass at the airport? Big fee. As much as I hate these practices, the introduction of basic economy fares has really narrowed the gap between legacy and low-cost carriers when it comes to these insidious fees. And as American and United continue to improve their onboard experience by packing in more slimline seats, the onboard experiences are becoming comparable as well. So in that respect, I don't think Spirit deserves the bad rap for nickel and diming you. It's right there on the front page. Boarding was rather an uneventful experience, and proceeded fairly quickly due to the limited number of cabin bags. All of Spirit's seats are identical, other than some 2-2 premium seats in the front. They do not recline, though they are more comfortable than Frontier seats. Cleanliness has historically been an issue with Spirit, and sadly this flight was no exception. I believe this is due both to the rapid turnaround of Spirit flights that do not allow for proper cabin cleaning, as well as the unique clientele that I've experienced on my Spirit flights, which tends to be a little more rowdy and messy. The cabin crew were friendly and surprisingly chipper before this nighttime flight.
And your mouth with the mask, place the elastic band around your head, and tighten by pulling on the ends. Secure your own mask before helping others. Oxygen will be flowing to the mask even though the bag may not inflate.
There wasn't much traffic at O'Hare at this hour, and we were soon airborne. There is no entertainment or Wi-Fi available on the flight, but instead, I was left imagining what made the person in front of me such a spirited flyer. Spirit also knows what you'll need to get through the flight. And they market their alcohol section heavily. There's a cocktail, shot, or other mixed drink available for everyone. I put on my noise-canceling headphones and tried to sleep through the flight. I did hear a gentleman insist that because his child was special needs that they should get a free soda. This occurred both on the ground as well in the air. There's always something. On a flight to Las Vegas, people were singing and drinking in the aisle. I did manage to sleep for most of the flight, but about an hour before landing, we experienced some of the worst turbulence of my life. I've flown a lot, and it normally doesn't faze me, but it got really rough for about 20 minutes. Finally, we made our landing at SeaTac. So I believe the onboard Spirit experience is fine, if you're doing a relatively short flight and know what you're getting into. Spirit's problem is their operational reliability and lack of backup aircraft. If anything happens, you are up a creek. I would only fly Spirit point to point and would never risk a connecting flight. Spirit often cancels flights while other airlines do not, and it may be days before you are able to be rebooked. Spirit may only fly once or twice a day on a particular route, and they once quoted me 5 days before the next flight would be available. Of course they're not going to offer you any hotel or meal voucher or book you on another airline. You are on your own. Having a credit card that provides trip delay insurance coverage is highly recommended. After landing in Seattle, I took the convenient Orca from the airport to downtown. For my return flight, I was able to visit the Centurion Studio, which is accessible with the Amex Platinum card. It's not a full lounge, and there are no complimentary spa services available here, but it has a decent selection of food, comfortable seating, and a well-stocked bar with excellent views of the tarmac. Otherwise, it was fairly straightforward and doesn't deserve a full tour. Unfortunately, they closed at 10 p.m., and my flight was a red-eye departing at 11:40, so I schlepped all the way to The Club at SEA, which is located near the United Gates at the opposite end of the terminal from my gate. The Club is accessible with Priority Pass. I would have simply gone to an Alaskan lounge, but Priority Pass is no longer accepted at Alaska lounges in Seattle. The Club is a chain of fairly generic lounges that have light fare and free alcohol. At this late hour, there were snacks rather than sandwiches or anything more substantial. However, the lounge is a large business area, and views of the hoi polloi down below. Overall, I'd say The Club is a fine way to kill some time in an airport and have a snack, but not worth arriving early for like the Centurion lounge was. I'd show you my return flight, but I managed to sleep the whole way from pushback to landing. While taxiing at O'Hare, the captain informed us that no gates were available even at 5 a.m., so we ended up waiting for another 40 minutes. I went back to sleep. I think that basically sums up Spirit Airlines. It's worth sleeping through. Thanks for watching. I know this wasn't a luxury business class review, but it's still fun to make. I'll see you in the next one.